This is an Ellis Mowers and More small engine repair. Stay connected on Instagram and Facebook at Ellis Mowers and More. Comments or questions? Leave them below or email me, ellis@ellismowers.com. Parts used in today's repair are found using the links in the description below. And as always, like and subscribe for more small engine content. On today's small engine repair video, we're going to continue where we left off with part one of the Troy Bilt Bronco that we posted a video on the other day. I got it out, got it running. I don't know how long it's been sitting, but it was some wiring issues with it that we had to sort through, and ended up being able to get it to start and run with a new carburetor and just cleaning out the fuel system. Pretty easy stuff actually, which wasn't too bad. I got it running and driving. In this video, we're going to get everything even better. So we've got to get it running better, we got to get it driving better, and we got to get it cutting. So what we're going to do in this video is do some carb adjustments, a little bit of fine tuning there, and we got some drive belts to replace, and we've got some deck work to do. We'll tackle all of that coming up in this video next. So I got the mower deck off now that I know that it will run, drive, and cut. We do need to work on this a little bit. I'm going to replace the belt on it also because there's actually a pretty significant cut right here in the belt, probably from where it disengaged one time. The thing that I do a lot of times with these machines is take the spring off for the return, because what happens is over time these blade brakes, and I might be able to open it up, get worn out pretty bad right here, and they'll actually retract too far and it'll cause the belt to do some crazy stuff. So what I like to do is just take the belt, or take the return spring off, which is just right here. So all this does is it makes the blade stop faster. Now I've done this, I've tried a bunch of different stuff to make the belts prevent themselves from jumping off, and we have to find a guard for this side. But I've done, I don't know how much different stuff to help keep these belts from jumping off and splitting and all that stuff, and it seems like the return spring is the easiest thing for us to do in terms of keeping these belts secure on the machine. It does take longer for the belts, for the blades to turn off, obviously, but it keeps everything rolling, which is good. So all the pulleys are moving, but we do have some rust inside at least the spindle pulleys here that I want to get out. So I'm going to get that. And to take these off, the decks off, is super easy, especially when you have the quick release pins right here that this one has. So I took those two off, released them, lowered the deck all the way down. The spring for the blade engagement goes right there. You'll unhook it from right here to take it off right there. And then your front bracket, you just slide the deck forward after you take the two rear ones off, and then you take the front bracket off and then just slide it out. Easy as that. What I'm going to do now is, well, it looks like somebody's working on this one, so we'll have to see what's going on with that pulley. There's like a huge washer in there, so that's kind of weird. So we'll see what's going on with all these pulleys. I'm going to get all the rust ground out in them as well. Don't have to worry about these in the middle too much. But it's a 109-inch belt, so I will replace the belt on them as well. Just have to loosen these pulleys up so that you can get around these guide pins. And then this is obviously the belt routing that you're going to have. This is like a 2008, 2009 model. And then what I'll do after that is, after I get the deck straight, before I put it all back on, I'm going to jack it up. We're going to take the drive belts off of it, replace the transmission drive belts on it, and then we will roll on with it. And as long as we can get this thing running, driving, and cutting, we'll just wait for it to warm up, and I'll wash it, and we'll be good. So hopefully we'll have this one ready to be washed here, save for the rear drive belt, because I'm still waiting for it to come in. But hopefully have all of that taken care of by the end of the day. All right, we're gonna go in the process of taking these belts off. It's not too bad for these, but the rear belt, when you go down here, hopefully I can see a little bit. There's a spring on this one that goes from here to a bolt right over here. You'll take that off. You can use a piece of string, like pull rope, in order to get some leverage to pull it off. And that'll be the last thing you put on after you put on all the belts. You'll get a 15/16 to take this main pulley off, which you should have access to pretty easily with an extension. And then what you'll also do is there's a little guide actually on this tension pulley here. You have to slide the belt down underneath the guide and then pull it back over the guide in order to get it off. So now, what we can also do, we should be able to take it off of the Varadrive pulley here. The Varadrive pulley on these is not in the most ideal location, but you should be able to get the belt on and off by pulling the pulley up and down enough. So really the only thing left to do here is grab an extension and a 15/16. I know it's not very easy to see in here while I'm doing this, but if we grab a 15/16 and an extension, hold the pulley. We don't have enough leverage with this, but in theory what you'll do is you'll take off that pulley to get the upper one off, and then you just have to kind of wiggle the belts down around the tension pulley for the Varadrive to get the lower belt off. So you just have to kind of pull that belt up a little bit and slide it out on both sides. I try my best not to have to take the Varadrive pulley off of these because of the location. It's literally right above the transmission, and it's not a great place to have to service the belt in order to get it off. So I'm going to take and finish the rest of the belt here, see if I can get it off. Usually I can, usually with minimal issue or fanfare, because this belt is significantly thinner than what it's supposed to be as well. So of course you can also just cut old belts off too if you want to, but still you got to get the new belt in. So but yeah, so you'll get these two belts off. We'll take this pulley off right here. I've already taken the Varadrive or the double stack pulley off the front. When I got down here, I'll show you. I took it off of these two pulleys already so that I could take it off the Varadrive pulley in the front. And so after that, we just got to get the belt off of the Varadrive pulley back there. The belt here actually goes, I believe it goes to the left side of the steering shaft. So not too bad. I just did one of these on a Husky MTD. It wasn't too bad, but I got to get the pulleys off, and then it'll be the process of putting them on. All right, so I got the lower belt on. The upper belt is not going as I would hope. Reason being is because this nut did not come off, so I had to literally force it around the frame here. But being able to just kind of work it around this, the Varadrive pulley, in order to get it around to the bottom portion of the Varadrive pulley for the lower belt worked. So I got it on this pulley first, and then I came and put the double stack pulley in. After that, you just kind of have to pull the belt tight. You have to slide it through on the left side of the steering shaft. And then also there's one little bolt, like a little 3/8 inch bolt in that general area that you got to take off, because it separates and keeps the belts from rubbing together right there. So the one side of the belt, or the right side of the belt, goes on one side and the left side of the belt goes on the other. But I just slid it up in there and then put it onto the 2 pulleys right here, and we're good to go there. So the only reason why I can't put the upper belt on is because it's not here yet. I think it's supposed to be here today. But just to give you all an idea of what these look like, they're very, very done. And 0468, 754, 0468, and 754, 0467 are the 2 part numbers for the belts. So, and as you can see, this one right here is I would venture to guess that these are probably the original drive belts. And they were driving the mower actually surprisingly well. So we're going to get the second belt on. What you got to do there, again, just as a reminder, get it over the big pulley, get it over the Veradrive pulley, and then you probably are going to have to take that bracket off so that you can get it over the tension pulley. And then once you do that, you put it on the little top of that and then hook it over here to a stud, and you're good to go. So I'm going to get that last belt on, and we should be good. Just a quick update on the mower deck. I do need to put the new belt on, find one shield to go on to the deck. I took the return spring off so that it doesn't try and throw the belt when it turns off because of the blade brakes. And this pulley here, the only reason why they did this is because I guess something with the nuts. Everything looks spaced correctly here from what I can tell, but the nuts weren't securing down onto the spindle all the way, and so that's the only reason why they put washers in them. Which one was it? This one right here, this pulley right here has actually been replaced, and I think I put it on backwards. So, but this pulley has been replaced with one. It said it cost $90, which is crazy. Because I can feel the groove on this side different than the groove right here, so I may have to swap that out for a second, but let's see. Yeah, because that looks like it goes in like it's supposed to there, and then I think this one was put in backwards from what I can tell. Or maybe they're the same on each side. But either way, that pulley, that price tag right there says $89.99. So I couldn't imagine if somebody spent $90 on this, what it would be like. But kind of crazy. Yeah, I think this pulley is, I don't know, it'll probably be fine. I'll give it a look and see. And I'm going to swap the deck belt out. Again, I just got to take these 2 pulleys loose, take this pin off, and then just work the belt around everything. I did scrape the inside of the pulleys here so that everything works like it's supposed to there. And so that should be good as well. And hopefully everything will be good here with the deck and the drive here in just a second. All right, y'all, so unfortunately, I couldn't even get the pulley off after this spindle. I found that the spindle was broken. One of the bolts had already been stripped out of one of the tabs, and then I tried to level it out and hit the tab and broke it. And so there's no saving these once the bolts get stripped in there like that. So good news is I've worked on MTDs for a while here. I had one that was a direct replacement. I put it on here. It actually made the blade level again too, which is good. Literally all you gotta do is take the blade off. You could take the 4 screws off for the spindle, pop the new one on. If you have a guard up top, you got to take the guard off as well. But we're all good. We got everything on. Everything's lined up. We've got the blades and everything ready to go now. So that's good. And so now the deck is ready to be put back on. The machine, it should be ready to go now. and we're just waiting on a rear drive belt. What I'm going to do next is see if I can get this thing to run a little bit better. I wish I could clean it, but it's only 26 degrees outside or something like that, so can't do that today, unfortunately. So I may try another carburetor. We're going to get this thing running better, and then we got a drive belt to put on, put the deck back on, and after that, I can probably go ahead and put the deck back on because I'm done with the lower drive belt. And then after that, hopefully this thing will just need a good cleaning, and we'll drive it around and see if everything is good on it. And if so, then it should be ready to go after that. So this is super nice. We'll be we're well on our way to having this one fixed. All right, so update, I suppose. I have put a different carburetor on. Hopefully it runs a little bit better. I have put the deck back on. Again, just the two mounts on the side after you put slide the front bracket in. And we'll adjust the deck here in a minute. One other thing, I don't think I've even mentioned on this video, but you have this piece right here that's like a little guide that keeps this in place. This one's a little loose, but it's still going to do the job. Keep that on there so that you don't have any issues with the belt falling off. Again, what I do a lot of times is take the return spring off, and that seems to help these MTD mowers a lot in terms of the belt not jumping off and the belt life as well. And also make sure that you got the little side guards on it also. So I got a battery in it. I hope the one I've got in it is good. I'm trying to use some of my older batteries here because I'm down to like one new battery, and I just bought like 6 or 8 of them less than a month ago. So I'm gonna, let's see, I'll make sure it cranks first, then I'll open the door. Let's see here. Alright. Make sure I got gas first too. Yeah, we got enough. Alright. Why don't it crank though? Everything is on like it's supposed to be. Breather tube. That's kind of weird. Usually this thing will just fire right off. Or it did the other day. Something with the chokes. Something with the choke ain't right. Hold on a second. Okay, let's see. Something's going on with the choke here. Choke's not closing all the way. Let me see if I can resolve this real quick. I've been in here before trying to fix this, it looks like, on this carburetor. Let's see. So, here's the choke butterfly. And for some reason, I've got it bent and it's not closing. So I may just grind a little bit off of the bottom and the sides of it. See if I can get it to close right. Get it straight again. We'll try this in just a second. Alright, I think I got it resolved. I'm going to try this again. See if this will work. not great, but we'll see what maybe we can muster with something here. This one, the choke spring isn't returning it like it needs to, so because it looks like it's broke, so I gotta pull this off anyways. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep dialing it in. Drive wise, well, let's check drive real quick. With the new belts on it, I just stole a rear belt off of another machine that I had here. Got it down for the most part here. Just needs to run a little better, but we're going to work on that here. Got to get the choke fixed on this thing anyway, so I don't know if I've shown you how to take these carbs off on this video yet, but just take a couple of bolts here, a couple of screws. You have an 8mm up top, and you pull this out. And there it is. So one thing we've got to do here is, I'd love to drill this out maybe 1/1000th or 2/1000ths. I got to fix this. It looks like this didn't get put back correctly. Probably my doing, I'm sure. But so that one's better than the other one for sure. So we're going to kind of try and dial this one in a little bit. Like I said, I think I just got to drill out the main jet just a little bit, because sometimes they don't provide enough clearance in them jets in order to make it work. So I'm going to do that right there so we don't lose much gas. And rip this off. Again, I made the mistake of messing with the spring there, unfortunately, but we'll get that fixed here. Should be able to get this fixed here right now, actually. So let's do this. Oops. Let's see. So it's going to push it forward. Whoop. It's going to push it forward like that. So we'll put this back in. Ooh, not that way. So yeah, so it's going to push it in like that and bring it back out. So we're good there again. When you take these off, there's a little jet that's on the side of it. I'm just going to drill that out just a little bit to see if it's going to run better when I do that and get a little bit more fuel. Better. I tried the jet, it didn't quite work. I should have just backed that screw out a little bit. I forgot. I thought they were on this side, but they're on this side. And so I just backed that out about a turn. As you can hear, it's running pretty good. So I'm going to level the mower deck. After I do that, I'll put the hood back on it. I'll go ahead and put the engine cover back on it too. Make sure all the tires are up to the proper pressures. Level the mower deck, which on this there is one spot on the back side here, on this side, that levels. So you just got to get it right on the sides, and you should be good after that. So we're good running wise. I'll put the engine cover back on it. When I do wash it, I'm going to take the engine cover back off just so I can get all that grime and stuff down in the fins and in the block right there. It doesn't seem to be leaking. Doesn't really seem to be leaking. It just has a bunch of seepage. The oil is clean. It may just need about 10 to 12 ounces, or maybe about 8 ounces more actually. So that's good. And so I'll level the deck, get the covers back on it. We'll take it for a drive, and then we'll just wait on the. Well, we'll see. I'll see if I have a. Let's see, a chute for this. The chutes for these are not cheap, unfortunately. So I'll see if I have a chute for that, and then we'll move on and basically be ready at that point, hopefully. Alright, so it's time to pull this thing out. The deck actually was really level for what it was. Man, this is not going to look the prettiest. And I got to put a discharge chute on it still. But after I do that, I mean, this thing's going to be a very functional mower, I think. So let me crank it up. We're going to take it for a drive down the driveway here. We got a little busy since last couple videos. We got some golf carts and stuff in here, which is taking up some space here in the driveway. But let's get this thing out. Let's make sure all the functions work like they're supposed to. Still just got that tiny little stumble. stumble figured out right there. If I can just get that one little stumble figured out, I think we'll be okay. Let me work on it a little bit and see what I can muster up here. Alright, so I didn't have any discharge chutes, so I just kind of repaired that one with a little bit of spray paint and some pipe holder. Seems to have worked okay. Y'all hear it running pretty good, so we're just going to let it warm up. And once it warms up, we'll wash this thing, and I think we're done with it. So that's good. Well, we finally got a day here that was warm enough. Been waiting quite a few days to get this thing washed. Got it washed, got it clean. This is by no means the cleanest machine you're gonna find. This is gonna be a budget rider. I'm gonna list it for $600. I'll take $500 for it. Runs good, and sometimes it's hard to get these Kohlers to not surge a little bit, but this one seems to be okay. It could be a little bit better, but again, runs fine otherwise. So when it's got a load on it running with the blades, then we're good. So I think I showed y'all what I ended up doing with the discharge chute there. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but it works. So the plus is there's no rips in the seat. This did clean up fairly well for what it was, and so we'll take it. Look under here. The only thing, we don't have the headlight hookups because I couldn't, just wires weren't available for that, unfortunately. So the wiring's not the best, but it does work. It charges, it runs, and that's what it needs to do. So we'll take it, and really not too bad on this. I'll let y'all hear it run, and we'll drive it a little bit. Drive it back and forth just a little bit to show you everything drives good on it. There we go. Not too bad on this one. Overall, what do we have to do to this thing? Not too much in the grand scheme of things. Well, this one, see, I'm working on two exactly back to back. You'll see the next one in the next video in a couple of days. But what do we do with this one? So we replaced the drive belts on it. We put a carburetor on it. Gave it a good cleaning, obviously. And we had to replace the front tires on it as well. At least, well, both front tires. I put one on it before we started the video. The other one, the tube was bad. We put that on it. And a couple of other things, air filter, deck spindle, and we made sure the blades were nice and sharp, leveled the deck, and so yeah, I think we're pretty good. Had to do a little bit of wiring repair too. Not really a ton of work in this. I got this, I'm pretty sure I got this one in the lot that I got from my friend Jesus across town a while back. The same lot that the Husqvarna rider, the 48-inch one that I finished about a month ago, came with, and a couple of other machines. So it was a good buy. I'm doing good on that. Like I said, we'll get about $550 hopefully out of this. I'll list it for $6 just to give myself a little bit of room as to what I want to get. It'll probably sell in March or April. Nothing's really going right now because we had such a cold winter, especially in January, that It was hard to even get out of the house, honestly, but I had some heat in the garage. And this is really the time where you get the stuff like this ready. That way you are ready to go when the growing season starts. This one right here, after the zero turn that we did, which I still have, the Husqvarna, the electric mower, the Greenworks mower, and this one is going to make number 4. I've got another Troy Bilt, which you'll see in a couple of days. That's number 5, and then I've got a Husky that is back there that's waiting on a pulley and a belt and a couple of other small things, which will be number 6. So moving along very nicely in terms of getting machines ready here. Riding mowers especially, I've already got about 9 or 10 push mowers ready to go for the spring, so that's good as well. We'll keep cranking them out here, guys. I do appreciate y'all watching this video on this Troy Bilt Bronco. It'll live on somewhere else, hopefully have a good service life, and will last a good little while longer. There really wasn't too much wrong with this. I don't know exactly why. Well, I'm pretty sure that the wiring was probably why it was parked for originally, and it just needed to, get a little bit of wiring work, and then just general refreshing from where it sat a while. And we'll park it in the back and list it, and whenever it sells, but I'm sure it'll be gone before April. And we'll be cutting some grass this year. Again, thanks again for watching this repair video. Hopefully you are enjoying the content here on the channel. Feel free to like and subscribe if you do, and I'll catch y'all on the next video, which will look eerily similar to the one that we just finished.